Hello, I'm Bayero Agabe. As we face the new society driven by data and information, Cyber Africa provides you a trusted platform. Here we understand how telecoms, the internet and the media are redefining our world. Cyber Africa, connecting Africa.
Hello and welcome to Cyber Africa Report on Kakaki, the African Voice, and I am Bayero Agabe. Cyber Africa is designed to x-ray issues and developments trending on the cyberspace through the smart use of technology. In this edition, we will be bringing you the ICT headliners in 2015. By this I mean the big issues that dominated or defined the ICT space in 2015. One of such major developments that shocked the ICT space in Nigeria was the implementation of the bank verification number, otherwise called the BVN. This did not only cause a pause on transactions for many, it did brought about a new phase of relationship with the Nigerian financial institutions.
It's good because I know the importance of having secured banking transaction, which is the main goal of the bank verification number.
From BVN, we take you now to the Nigeria Mobile Economy Summit. This was also a defining platform as it was the first of its kind in the country, Nigeria. The event, which was in both summit and award, attracted leaders and innovators across the country.
The story about how Nigeria became transformed from the backwaters of sluggish telecom growth to a highly revolutionized ICT economy is a very familiar story to all of us.
And finally, the big one. This is what many industry analysts refer to as the regulator's biggest bite so far in the history of the Nigeria ICT ecosystem. This is what they call the NCC Big Bite.
The quality of service is really uncalled for.
When MTN came to Nigeria, they started their services, render a good services to Nigeria. But along the line, it's like they somehow are robbing Nigerians.
On the 26th of October 2015, the Nigeria Communications Commission, NCC, fined MTN Nigeria $5.2 billion for failing to disconnect 5.1 million of its unregistered cell phone subscribers. The Nigerian Communications Commission basically fined MTN about 1,000 per unregistered user, which covers about 5 million unregistered SIM cards, thus amounting to over 8 trillion naira and about $5.2 billion. The $5.2 billion fine is accorded to the company's websites, equivalent to at least 2 average years' profit for MTN Nigeria and nearly 3 times the $1.8 billion that it has invested in Nigeria. But to some Nigerians, the fine will serve as good caution to others who, according to them, have formed the habit of ripping off Nigerian subscribers through bad services.
It's like a payback for MTN to pay back to Nigerians.
I would say the MTN should be pardoned, knowing that it's a multinational business operating in Nigeria, and the economic implication in terms of the fine on the staffs and other chains of businesses who are linked to MTN, I would say they should be fined.
These comments, harsh as they may seem, may not be unconnected to the situation in the past where the regulator was perceived as either serving the network providers, where the telcos were made to believe that they have grown to become a monopoly far beyond what the NCC could regulate. But with the recent big bite by the NCC, reactions are now mixed. For some, the Nigerian government should tread with caution, and to others, the effect may be more than the benefit.
We should think of sanctions that actually achieve an aim. If the CEOs of these companies are held personally responsible for disobeying the regulator's request, that would have more effect.
Putting the fine into proper context vis-a-vis the Nigerian economy, Nigeria's 2015 budget proposal submitted to the Senate in December of 2014 has an aggregate revenue of 3.602 trillion, which is made up of oil revenue of 1.98 trillion and non-oil revenues of 1.68 trillion according to the Pricewaterhouse. In US dollars, that will be an estimated oil revenue in 2015 of $9.5 billion, while the non-oil revenue estimates primarily made up of taxes will be approximately $8.5 billion. This is perhaps many eyes saying that the ICT sector can be a major sustainer of the Nigerian economy if well nurtured.
The sector has attracted foreign direct investment to the tune of $30 billion. The NCC, through licensing and spectrum fees, has contributed to the coffers of the nation, by making remittances to the consolidated revenue account of the federal government to the tune of 300 billion naira.
As it stands, the MTN fine of $5.2 billion is already 60% of Nigeria's expected non-oil revenue for the year, and is approximately 30% of the expected entire 2015 Nigerian revenue. And according to Bloomberg.com, the MTN fine will exceed the revenue of the Nigerian government made from oil in the second quarter of 2015 and be more than double the state's non-oil crude proceeds. In addition, the network unmatched records of prompt payment. MTN accounted for 11% of non-oil tax revenue, 5% of total taxes in 2014. Total payment made to government from inception is 1.3 trillion. Payment made in 2014 is 176 billion naira. 2013, 191 billion naira. To economics experts, Nigeria's government is at risk of scaring off investors it cannot afford to lose with this kind of action against one of its biggest foreign investors.
I feel with such a fine, we are not encouraging foreign investors to come into this country. That kind of money is enough to actually liquidate the company in itself.
Analysts argued further that with an economy struggling to cope with sliding oil prices, currency restrictions and insecurity, authorities are doing themselves no favor by penalizing one of their best and biggest foreign investors.
In a way, it is senseless because I can't see what it is going to achieve. It is not money that acts as a deterrent here. It is like what I described before. And now you are threatening the functionality of a huge company for which many Nigerians rely on, be it for their communication, be it for carrying out financial transactions.
For the operator, the fine equates to more than 20% of Johannesburg-based MTN market value. In order to pay, MTN may resort to increased services.
If they are going to pay such fine, it's going to affect us.
For a clearer picture, MTN connects 42% of the 7.3 million subscribers, amounting to 6% increase in subscriber number. From training to value addition, duties, levies, and taxes, its overall contribution hovers around $3.4 billion. In addition, most communication networks dealing mainly with the provision of internet services, especially 4G networks, use the master of already established networks like MTN to mount their base transmission stations to BTS for its effective delivery of services. As a result of this huge fine levied, this could likely increase the cost of rent to be charged to other communications networks. For many, these are enough reasons to consider dealing with huge organizations so that its intended gains are not ruined. But to others, it is not too harsh. That's it on Cyber Africa Report on Kakaki, the African Voice. Join us via the number on your screen or email by erugagabi@gmail.com. At this point, I hand you back now to Kakaki Studio in Abuja. Bye-bye for now.